most of our leads are not break fix leads anymore. I don't have to buy today. My system's working fine. How do you close those?
We started doing a pilot back in October, and then as it grew and as it evolved, we did an official launch to the entire team in May.
Would you just give us the concept of this Sales Recovery 2.0?
It's a system that works. It's basically bringing the sales recovery process forward, having it at the kitchen table with the comfort consultant, talking to the customer, and making the comfort consultant the hero. And we're closing overall about 60% of the call-ins that would have been no sales.
Wow.
I'm about to do $3 million this month just on the phone with my guys that call me.
She's already at 2.7 for the month of August. That is ridiculous. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Comerford, and I'd like to welcome you to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast. We have got a big show today. Big show. Really excited about what we're going to talk about. In our past, we've had Casey Newbon from Parker on, and she talked to us about how she did north of $9 million in sales recovery. Excuse me. Well, Casey's on track to do north of $10 million this year. Unbelievable for this sales recovery concept. Well, today, we're going to talk about something even more special, and that's called Sales Recovery 2.0. And we're going to talk about how we're actually looking at doubling and even tripling the numbers that Casey spoke to us about just months ago. I'm joined today by two special people from Parker. Here we are again, making it all happen at Parker. Mr. Paul Kelly and Serena Lara. We're going to get to know these two folks in just a second. I'm going to have them give us their background, and then we're going to jump right in to what this Sales Recovery 2.0, as Serena shared, otherwise known as the table close, what that looks like. So let's get started. Paul Kelly. All right, Paul, I know you're here to talk about sales recovery. We would be doing you a disservice without talking about who you are, the legend in the industry. I know you're going to be embarrassed by me caking it on, but so many people know who you are and the impact and the imprint that you've left on this industry. We're blessed to have you speaking on this Sales Recovery 2.0 concept. But what I'd love you to do, Paul, is just give us a little bit of background about yourself. Then we'll have Serena share a little bit about herself, and then we'll jump into this topic. Paul, you're on, buddy. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, I think a lot of your viewers and listeners know me, but some wouldn't. And my background was originally accounting. Went to college and school for accounting, got my CPA. Was in auditing for a number of years. Happened to land at a company called Roto-Rooter, doing their accounting and their consolidating of their entities, and did that for a number of years. And that introduced me into the plumbing side of the business, and worked there for a few years on the Service America, which they had bought, and then I had the opportunity to work at Blue Dot, which was a consolidator in our industry, which many people have heard of or are familiar with. And in 2004, we'll fast forward through all that. In 2004, I had the opportunity to buy Parker & Sons, a fairly small company in Phoenix, Arizona, doing about $7 million. Fast forward, what would it be? 22 years now, I guess. We'll do about $250 million. And so it's been a crazy ride, and that's not my story. That's you've got a rock star in Serena. That's her story. That's Daryl's story. That's so many others. Bob Cannon. It's everybody's story at Parker & Sons that we created. Really, I think the biggest company of its kind in a single market for sure. And I'm very proud of that. But more than that, I'm proud of the people that have helped everyone do that.
Just want to make sure everybody heard that. 2004, 7 million. 2025, 250 million. And of course, knowing you, Paul, giving credit to Serena and Bob Cannon and Daryl and all the people, all the great people at Parker and Sons. That's who Paul Kelly is. And that's why you're the legend. That's why you are so special to many of us in Wrench and many of us in the industry. So thank you, Paul, for everything that you've done, and especially about what we're going to talk about today, because today is going to be very, very powerful for those of you that can take back what Paul and Serena are going to share and implement it in your own companies.
It takes one to know one, Kevin. You have a similar story. So you're one of the goats in our industry as well.
Thank you, Paul.
Hats off.
The guy's been complimenting me since the day I met him. So thank you, Paul. Always there to share a great word. So let's talk a little bit about the woman of the hour, Serena, right? I mean, that's why we're here. Serena, give us a little bit of your background. I know that you really are the one that is heading up Sales Recovery 2.0, the table close, which I like.
That's
the table close.
The table close.
So just give us a little bit of your background, how you got in the industry, even before you got in the industry. What brought us here today?
Wow. Okay. So just in a nutshell, I've been in sales my whole life. I started sales when I was 17 years old, selling magazine subscriptions on a phone line. That was my high school days, right? So I did 12 years at Jenny Craig, did sales and management there, loved it. It really was part of what gave me everything I know about sales, the emotional sale, because you're dealing with an emotional, mental sale, right? If you can't feel it, you can't touch it. So that really was huge for my career in sales, just dealing with so many different people and the emotions, just like air conditioning, it's emotional too, right? So very similar. When I got into the industry, it was 2015. I started at ARS, and this is my fourth air conditioning company. And I've gone through retail, working alongside Jackie Capozzi out at ARS, ran 97 Home Depots and a few Costco's out there. That was fun. Then as I grew in my role and my responsibilities evolved, I've been a sales manager, service manager, ops manager, you name it. I've kind of tested out the waters and everything. But today I could truly say here at Parker, I found my fit. I'm doing my dream job. I get a mentor, I get a sell, I'm on the front line, I'm working in between departments, and I watch the front door with the comfort consultants while they're live at the table, all the way through working and partnering with sales recovery if we don't get that sale. So I get to follow that customer all the way through. So I've been with Parker since August. It's 3 years this August, actually. So, and when I first started, I started as a business development manager, trying to figure out what they needed. They wanted me to focus a little on Home Depot, a little on sales, did that, moved into sales recovery about a year ago, and then just recently stepped into my new role as the sales support manager, where all I do is take table closes all day long. I don't do anything else. I don't do payroll anymore. I don't do reporting. I don't do anything else. I am strictly available to those guys from the minute they walk in to their first call to the end of the day. I'm readily available to field calls. So that's what I'm doing today.
So it sounds like you got in the industry in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
You've been with Parker for 3 years. So you've really been able to get a sense of what the culture's like at Parker and Sons. And now just in the last, what would you say, 3 to 4 months, you've moved into this role, Serena?
Yeah, pretty much. We started doing a pilot. We started doing a pilot back in October. and we started doing pilot groups. It was 6 guys at a time. We took them on. We partnered the guys with sales recovery. We tested it out with the sales recovery group we currently have. And then as it grew and as it evolved, we did an official launch to the entire team in May. And that's when I kind of took on the role. I was asked to step away from sales recovery and managing the sales recovery team to working directly with our selling techs and sales comfort consultant.
So, Paul, if you could, for our viewers and our listeners, would you just give us the concept of this sales recovery 2.0?
Yeah, no, so a few months ago, I was kind of asked, as I don't know if everyone on, listening knows, but I kind of semi-retired at Wrench and have been mostly just consulting with the Wrench group, and was asked to hop back in at Parker to help them in a couple areas, one of which was sales recovery.
And what I heard, Paul, was that you refired. You didn't retire. You refired.
Exactly. Yeah,
and it clearly is working. So go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if I retired or I'm just tired, but one of those two. And I had the opportunity to work with Serena as I thought through how to reinvent and how to help Parker and Sons get their top line going. Sales recovery was a big part of it. As most companies go in our industry, if the HVAC install engine is not running well, then so goes the company.
Mm.
And so we really focused on how could we change the game. And I started looking at sales recovery as an action, not as a department, right? As a process, not as a person. And we started rethinking everything that we did. And sales recovery typically is done by a sales recovery agent like Casey, and it's done the next day or 2 days later. And it's somebody calling them they don't know, don't have trust in necessarily, and of which the sales recovery agent only gets a hold of a certain percent of the people, maybe 35, 40%. That's what I see as an average across the locations I've looked at. And so we wanted to reinvent that, where we got a hold of 100% of the people. And it was somebody that they ended up learning to know. And so we really just brought the sales recovery process forward and involved the comfort consultant in the 1.0. The comfort consultant's not really that involved, sometimes not at all. And so there wasn't, I don't think that's the perfect system. It's a great system when you have to go to it. But we looked at it like, how do we do this? And this is not something that's new. This system's been around. I learned this system probably 35 years ago. I'm sitting having dinner with a guy named John Murat, and Ken Haynes knows John and Tom Murat at Dial One. Used to be at Dial One, way better than I do. But I'm sitting with John Murat, one of the owners, and he was the sales guy. And while we're having dinner, he's taking calls. He took probably 4 or 5 calls while we're having dinner, each one of them only 5 minutes tops. And he's closing sales. And it just dawned on me like, hey, this system works. And I asked him, like, one of his salespeople back then sold about 2.5 million in revenue. That number would be 6 or 7 million today. I mean, he was the top guy that Ken and I knew, and other people in the whole country back then, 2.5, 3 million. And so I asked John Murat, I said, why does he call you? He's so good. He could close most of these without calling you. And he said something that just struck me like a ton of bricks. He said he doesn't want to close most of them. He wants to close them all.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, wow, he wants them all. And his close rate was about 90%.
Wow.
Now, most of his leads were tech leads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, they weren't Costco or Home Depot or whatever, but he had some, marketed leads as well. But that just hit me like a ton of bricks. So when I bought Parker and Sons, myself and a guy named Keith Cottrell, who was my right-hand guy, who really, he and I started this system really patterned after John Murat. We thought a little better and thought through it. And Keith ended up doing most of them, and he was so good at it. And his famous line he always said to me was, hey, boss, another one in the books. And he would come to my office 5 or 6 times every day back then, and we had another one in the books. And so anyway, that was the system, and we used it for years, and then we got away from it for a number of reasons. That we were growing without it, which is a mistake a lot of people make, and we made it where we got away from it. And so we are now back into it. And it's a system that works. It's basically bringing the sales recovery process forward, having it at the kitchen table with the comfort consultant there, talking to the customer, figuring out where they are in the buying process and what we need to do to close it, and making the comfort consultant the hero of them working us over. Because in the end, I believe more and more of all the leads we get within all of Wrench are coming from Home Depot. They went in for light bulbs. They came away with this lead. Costco, they went in for groceries. They came away with this lead. Or tune-up, where nothing's wrong with the system, right? Most of our leads are not break-fix leads anymore. They're, I don't have to buy today, my system's working fine leads. How do you close those, right? And so we really started thinking through that. And Serena, luckily, was someone who just gravitated towards this, who is really good at it. And in the end, the customer to buy ahead of the event means my air goes out. If you want somebody to buy it ahead of the event, you have to do 3 things, I think. You have to make it affordable. Don't sell $18,000 systems. Sell $3 to $4 a day systems. That's affordable. I tip that much for lunch. You have to bring the sales recovery process in earlier and make the customer feel, this is so important, make them feel like they are getting a deal. Now, comfort consultants try that by just discounting, and some of them discount way too quick and way too much, and they give away the store. We know the story, and we may have comfort consultants on this call, and you can get used to discounting. And I get that. And in general, we're higher priced anyway. So, hey, discounting is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. People want discounts. People don't buy clothes until it's on sale. And so discounting is a good thing, not a bad thing. But if you discount too much and too fast, red flags go up in the customer's mind. And so the customer in the end just wants to feel like they got a deal and they worked it, right? And if they feel that, then they're more likely, way more likely, to want to go ahead with it now. And the last thing we have to do is create urgency. Why do something now when I could do it later, right? And that's where we'll talk about the takeaway on this table close. But those are the elements of it. And what we found is we found success in Serena is so good at it. And other supervisors and managers that are in the department take table closes as well, and they're good at it as well. and we're closing overall about 60% of the call-ins that would have been no sales.
Wow.
And we're 60% of them. And now it's a matter of, we need to do more of this. Right now, Parker and Sons is only calling in on about 45%, 50% of all the no sales. We want 100%. We could double what Serena's, told you, or what she's about to tell you, what she does. We could double that if only we get compliance. One thing, and I know you believe this more than anybody, Kevin, one thing, the right thing, done extremely well, crazy good, as everyone knows, I say a lot at Parker, crazy good. One thing done crazy good can make a bad month into a good month, a bad year into a good year. I've done the math. Parker could be hitting their number. Wrench could be hitting their number by doing this one thing crazy good.
Okay. Well, what a message. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul. I interrupted you there.
So that's what we're doing. There's a technique to it. It can't be used car salesman-y. It has to be real. It has to come from here. And it's got to be pulled off right. And it takes cooperation from the Comer consultant. The Comer consultant is involved in this sales recovery.
Well, this is so.
Serena's done a job of getting them to start to buy into it, and some of them are really loving it. And some of the close rates of the mediocre Comer consultants that had lower close rates, I wouldn't call them mediocre. They're still some of the best in the industry. It's just things are tougher today than ever to close, right? We know that.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons, and this helps overcome that.
Well, first off, you just said it. We are in challenging times, right? Challenging times. The last 18 months to 24 months have been flat out challenging in the industry, in the home services business. Marketing has gotten tougher. We're spending more marketing dollars. There's a lot more competition in all of our markets with private equity firms. So what you just said, figure out what that one thing is and get crazy good. Paul, it's pretty clear to me that it's sales recovery 2.0, that if we can get the word out that we become the best in the industry at this process, it can fix a lot of our ills. That's what I'm hearing you're saying?
That's exactly right. And there's more than one thing. And I believe people can fix more than one thing. Sometimes a person can only fix one thing, but different departments, different people can fix one thing at the same time. The call center is certainly a one thing. Getting better at Home Depot and Costco for the wrench group, since we haven't, a lot of people in them, can be the one thing. But I will tell you, there's no better thing to get better at than a lead that you already have. And so making more out of the business you already get is certainly where to start. This is the one thing for me that can make the biggest difference. And it's a foolproof method of getting there. It's a 10-point. I'm not exaggerating. It's a 10-point improvement thing to your close rate.
Wow.
So whatever your close rate is today, what if it were 10 points higher? It can be that. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's jump in. You said a couple of things that I want to circle back on. When does the comfort advisor, when do they call in, and how do you prevent them from coming across as a used car salesman, which I think everybody wants to stay away from?
Yeah, no, I think, and I'll let Serena hop in whenever you want, but you have to have a reason to call in. The typical reason is, hey, can we give a better deal? That to me sounds used car salesman, right? Can I work a deal here? Can we do better? I'm packing up maybe if I'm a comfort consultant. They've told me they want to think about it. And so you have to have a good reason to call in. Now, the reason that I like to use is, hey, before I leave any call, the last thing I always do, just to make sure that I've given you the best deal and there's nothing that I'm not aware of, is I like to call in, make sure there's not any scratch and dents, any last minute specials, anything going on with Lennox, which was the system you're interested in, or Carrier, or whatever it is. I always call in just to make sure there's nothing I'm aware of before I leave. This will just take a second. And then I'm calling into Serena. Hey, Serena, is there, I'm here with Mrs. Jones. She's interested in, this 18 SEER 2-stage Lennox system. They want to think about it. So what am I doing? I'm telling them what they're interested in, what the objection is, and I'm telling them how much I already discount. I've already given her, a 10% discount, and I know we don't go above that, but I'm calling in just to see if there's any scratch and dents, any last minute specials I'm not aware of, anything at all that could help them as they think about making this decision. I'm not pushing to make a decision yet. She's going to help do that.
Yeah.
And then she takes it from there. And that's the reason to call in, which was what your first question is. You have to have a reason to call in. And I believe it's the best reason is not, I want to get you a better deal. I mean, that's part of, but I'm just calling in to make sure that there's not something going on that I don't know about.
And is there any comment about the schedule and keeping our guys busy? Is that?
Yes, that's what she does.
Okay.
That's what she does when she takes over.
So first off, just so I understand, there's the I don't even know, and you tell me, is the comfort advisor or the comfort consultant asking for permission to call? It almost sounded like, hey, I'm going to make a call and see if there's any scratch and dents, any last minute specials or something from Lennox that might be available. Yeah. Then does he or she just start making that call?
Yeah, why don't we do it? If you want, we can, in literally 2-3 minutes, we can run through a quick example of one and we can role play it.
Perfect. Let's do it.
You're going to be the customer, Kevin.
Okay, I'll be the customer. Yep.
I'll be the comfort consultant.
Okay.
And Serena gets to be herself because she's so good at it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
All right, I'm on the phone.
Okay.
Hey, Serena, I'm here with Kevin Comerford.
And are we on speakerphone? Are we on speakerphone?
We are on. Well, we don't have to be yet.
Okay.
But yes, I would put it on speakerphone. You want it on speakerphone at some point real soon. But yeah, I would just put it on speakerphone.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How's it going? What's going on?
Good. So I'm here with Kevin Comerford. They've been a longtime customer of ours. They have a maintenance agreement and really great customer. And he wants to, normally it would be with your wife. They want to think about it. They're interested in that 18 SEER, 2-stage Lennox system, really nice system. I've already given them all the discounts we can give with the 10%, but I just was calling in just to make sure before I left and let them think about it some more. I wanted to make sure there weren't any last minute specials from Lennox, anything coming from the manufacturers, the distributors, any scratch and dents, anything at all that would help them make a decision.
You know what, Paul, let me pull your job up really quick. Let's take a look here. All right. And we're looking at the 18 SEER 2-stage, you said?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right. I see the discounts. I see the APS credit for $200. The 10-year warranty, you comp that. It looks like you covered everything, Paul. It looks like you've got everything down. If you don't mind me asking, how soon are they looking to install?
I think they want to think it over, but I think if once they think it over, I'm sure they could install right away. But yeah, they just need some time to think it over.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. looking at my install board, we do have a couple pockets. I don't want to pressure them at all, but if they're interested, I could do a little better in the price if they want to help us out. With a couple pockets open tomorrow and the next day, that leaves guys not working. If they're not working, there's no food on the table. And you know how our owner is. Their number one priority is to keep the boys working. Would they be possibly available to install maybe tomorrow or the next day if the price made sense? If I could do a little better to help them out?
Kevin, I know you want to think about it, but if you did decide, is this week anyway, is that a possibility to install? I know it's Monday, to help fill the board.
Yeah, I'd consider it.
Okay.
I'd like to.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you weren't out of town or anything like that. But yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a possibility, Serena, but they really want to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do, but maybe give them some more to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I could do if they're willing to help fill a slot, I could take another $750 off that 2-stage equipment and bring it down to
Wow.
19,297. And then if they're willing to help us out, I'm happy to take that additional off just to make the price a little better for them and keep our guys busy. Would that work for you, for Kevin? Kevin, I don't know if Kevin could hear me or not, but if Kevin, would that work for you?
And I'm holding up my finger, Kevin, to you, saying don't say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that would help. I'm guessing they still want to think about it, but and I know we don't do this, but I'm going to ask anyway because I learned something from you, Serena, that it never hurts to ask.
Yep.
Could we extend their warranty from 10 years to 15? I know this equipment doesn't come with 10, but I was just wondering if that is a possibility at all. They're going to be in this house a long time, and even if they did decide to move at some point, it would help sell their house and make it more valuable potentially. So is that even, or am I in trouble for asking?
Well, you definitely know how the 10-year warranty goes with our single stage and so on and so forth. Right now, they're sitting at a 15-year with this 2-stage equipment. Let me just take a peek at something. Hang tight, Paul. One sec. And they did say they would consider installing this week, correct? Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, they consider it.
Okay. All right.
What I'm noticing out of roll really quick is how slow this is going, meaning you're not you didn't just give me the warranty right there, which I love, Serena. Anyway, back in roll, I love it.
Yeah.
So you're looking up the warranty. Okay, you're looking up something.
I'm looking up something.
Yeah.
Right? All right, I'll tell you what, Paul. We don't normally do this. So here's what we got to do. If they're going to install this week and it's going to keep our boys working, I'll throw in the 20-year warranty on the 2-stage equipment.
Wow.
Just to be clear, we've got the 10% off that you gave. It looks like you gave a $1,900 discount before calling me. I gave the $750 off. The 20-year warranty, that upgrade is $3,000. So it looks like right now we're sitting at about $4,000 to $5,000 worth of incentives to possibly move forward this week. So can we just see, does that work for Kevin to possibly move forward?
Kevin.
So just so I understand, are you saying
what
that?
What are you thinking?
Just so I understand, did Paul? Are you? And we're still in roll. Are you saying that we just went from a 15-year warranty to a 20-year warranty?
Yeah. Yeah.
And did I?
No worries for 20 years.
And did I
That's crazy.
Did I hear what you just said as well, that this has got you almost had a $4,000 value on it?
Yeah. But between the discounts, I just added up the discounts and that warranty, you're probably closer to $5,000 in value.
Wow.
She's hungry to fill that board to keep our installers busy. And that's this time of year as things slow down. That's what it's all about. You're buying at a good time. Let's put it that way.
So I'm going to step out of role real quick. I know you're going to get some people to move forward at that point.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just ask a couple of questions. How long are you going to make this available for, Paul? Like how long? I'm back in role. How long are you going to make this affordable for, Paul? Like the
This
extended
deal,
warranty?
Serena, I know you know, that's crazy what you just gave. I really appreciate it. I know Kevin does too. How long, if he needed some time to think about it, how long could he think about
You
it?
know, that's a lot that I just gave him, Paul. Am I on speaker, by the way?
Yeah.
Can Kevin
Yeah,
hear
you're
me?
on
Hey,
speaker.
Kevin, great to meet you. I'm so sorry to talk in the third person. I wasn't sure if you could hear me. So now that we're connected, good to meet you, Kevin. So to be quite honest, when I give away these discounts and whatnot, it truly is to fill a spot. We're going to lose money as a company regardless if we don't book that spot, and that's two guys that aren't working. So with that being said, I'm happy to let you keep that 20-year warranty, whether you install next week or the week after. But I can't get away with, I have a boss too. I can't get away with the warranty giveaways plus 10% plus the 750 I just gave you. So if we're not going to fill the spot this week, then I can't really justify giving all that away. So I'm going to have to pull back the 750. So what I'm just going to do, Paul, I'm going to have Kevin write down the number we agreed on if he installs this week, but I just can't enter in that discount and have it floating in the universe. If we install this week, once Kevin makes the decision, just give me a phone call. I'll pop that discount in there for you. But we're in agreement. If it goes in, that's the price. You get the warranty, you get Paul's discount, you got my discount. We'll get you all set up. But I'm sure you could understand my position, right, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah. So what I heard you say is that if I don't make a decision right now, but I make a decision and we install this week, I get the warranty and I get the 750
Yeah.
and I get the 10% discounts. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's spot on. And
Okay.
I just, once you make a decision, it's as quick as a click of a button on my end. But I just gotta make sure I'm compliant too. They give me the authority to discount when we have some pockets here and there. I just want to make sure that it's not a free for all, and I have discounts floating out there without an agreement. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll let you guys. I'll go ahead, Paul or Kevin.
What are you thinking, Kevin?
I mean, it makes sense. I don't want to lose that discount. I don't want to lose a 750. I appreciate that she kept the 20-year in there. But I yeah, I mean, I'm feeling okay, I'm going to step out of role real quick. Is that what you meant when you said we've got to build the urgency by taking something away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if I still objected, do we have a place to go from here?
Yes, we do.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to object again. Okay?
Okay.
So back and roll. Because I don't want to be a freaking lay down. I don't want to be, and I don't want to be lay down.
Yeah, that's perfectly
Because
fine.
I want to be real life. I want to be real life.
90% of the time, if what I'm going to do next, I do, and one of two things is going to happen.
Okay, this is what
so this is the next thing. So Kevin, we're back and roll.
Okay, so
Kevin,
so let me. Can I object real quick before we get back and roll?
Do.
Okay,
yeah.
So, Serena, thank you. It was great to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I think I'm gonna just think about this and not move forward right now. And if we get it installed this week, I'll give you a call back. If that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me make this a little easier on you. I know Paul, just like he's with you right now, and he gives you his undivided attention. That's how our guys are. He's going to be in and out of homes this week. So instead of playing phone tag or chasing him around, why don't I do this? Is your number the one ending in 5734 on file, Kevin?
Yep, that's mine. Yep.
Is that your number? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shoot you a quick text so you don't have to jump through hurdles in my call center or chase Paul down. Just give it some thought. And what I could do if you'd like, I'm happy to check in with you maybe this evening or tomorrow morning if you want. We'll just see where you're at. Does that work for you?
It does.
Okay. All right. So did that come out? Did you get that text on your end?
Yep, just got it.
Perfect. Yeah. And listen, you're going to probably comb through that estimate, have lots of questions. It's a lot of information. So as you have those questions, just shoot me a text or call me. And it doesn't mean you have to make the decision right away, but there's a lot of stuff on that estimate. So while you're dissecting it, just send me a text. We'll just come through it together. I'll be here. I'll be a little bit more accessible than Paul is while he's in the field. So make yourself welcome to use my number.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, great.
Anything else you folks need, Paul, Kevin? Any questions for
No,
me?
and I appreciate you going to bat
All right.
like you never have before
Yeah.
for Kevin. And as he thinks about it, I hope he takes advantage of it. But even if he doesn't, we have a long-term customer here. So
Perfect. All right.
thank
Kevin?
you, Serena.
Oh, you bet. And Kevin, we'll talk either tonight or tomorrow morning. No worries at all. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Thanks,
have a good
Serena.
day, guys. Now I expect Paul to continue selling you when we get off the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me ask a question real quick. By the way, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. No pressure. Didn't feel sales. Didn't feel like a used car salesperson at all. It didn't.
Good.
It really didn't. Your approach, and I think that's what people have to understand, is your approach is what is so important here.
Yeah.
Slow, aggressive, but not too aggressive was so apparent. And I was feeling it as a client. I felt the pressure, but then you took it off me. I felt the pressure, but then you took it off me. And that's how I felt.
Yeah. And the way you do that, what you asked earlier, our listeners may be asking, is this going to sound like a used car salesman? If done right, done wrong, yes. The answer is yes. You will sound like a schmuck. You will sound terrible. You will feel like one too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If not done right, you have to have a reason for everything you do. You have to justify it. There has to be some logic behind it. Otherwise, we do sound like we're just going after the bottom dollar with that customer. But if we're in the business of helping people, you have to have compassion. You have to show care. You have to respect that they need to think about it, because we're all human. Nobody just hands 10 grand, 20 grand, or 30 grand to another individual without giving some reasonable thought. That is a normal human thing. So for us to get aggressive and try to corner somebody, the last thing I want to do is make someone feel that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
isn't that, Kevin, is she good or what?
The best. The best. I mean, yeah. I don't know what else to say other than that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, the best at somebody who's the best at something with one of the best methods in our industry is a double combo that can improve your close rates tremendously. And if you were interested, which is the first step, I don't want to discount it, is making it affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Net investment, which is the monthly payment minus the monthly utility savings, equals the net investment. And that oftentimes is $3 to $4 a day, $99 to $129 a month. Even if it was $4 to $5 a day, that's the most it will be ever.
Mm-hmm.
I just made it affordable. When you make things affordable, whether it's HVAC equipment, whether it's a water heater, whether it's a softener, an RO system, whether it's a new electrical panel or solar or anything, when you make it affordable and they realize that's not that expensive, you just did something miraculous. You took the pain away. The pain is not you showing up and you installing it and the salesman coming out. That's painful sometimes too, to some people. The most pain is in paying $18,000 for a new system.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sell $18,000 systems. Sell $3 to $4 a day systems.
And is that the salesperson that falls under, Paul? That responsibility to take? I think you use the Emerson calculator.
Yeah.
And in order to get the utility payment, or not the utility payment, what their net savings are going to be, or their utility savings, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is something, Serena didn't do it, but it is something that when your company consultants get good at it and they're doing it, you hate to call them out on something they didn't do, right? But when you know they're doing it, and you can talk about the net investment, and if I give a discount, I'm bringing that net investment down even, right? That'll bring your net investment of $3.50 a day down to $3, or whatever it is. It makes it affordable, and things that are affordable, it's easier to say yes to ahead of the event of your air going out or your heat going out. So that's a key part of this formula. When you have the net investment nailed down and you made it affordable, you work this sales process, which Serena just did masterfully. And then if you need it, you have a takeaway, that if they don't move forward, then they're not going to get something. Then you created urgency, and those three together are a powerful formula.
And I would agree. And I did miss asking the net investment question, but it is a powerful tool. We have a phenomenal sales team here at Parker. And once we get everyone complying with these table closes, which we've seen that number go up and we've seen tremendous results, and then you marry net investment to it, and it's just flawless execution. I mean, selling the money is huge.
So can we go back into role? Can you share with me, Paul, maybe what that looks like if I'm the customer, right? And what does that look like for Serena? Instead of saying, hey, they're looking at the two-stage Lennox, are you sharing with Serena, hey, we got their payment down to X. Is there anything better we can do? Can you kind of just share with me how net investment shows up in the close at the table?
Yeah.
So let's go right back into role. So let's figure that you've already made the call to Serena, and now you're kind of just introducing or you're sharing with her the equipment I'm interested in, the discounts you've given, and then maybe I would assume there you're going to share the net investment that you've come to. I'll be quiet. I'll let you do your thing.
Yeah. No, and she can ask me what the net investment is, or I could have done a better job on what we just did and actually just told her what it was.
Okay.
At the very beginning, just saying, hey, Mr. Comerford here is interested in an 18-SEER two-stage Lennox. And the net investment on that, after the discount I gave, is just $127.50. It's about $4 a day, not quite $4 a day. And so we've done our job of making this an affordable. And look, to spend $4 a day to have a brand new state-of-the-art heating and air system that'll make you more comfortable. It's quieter, it's better for the environment, and all the bennies that comes with it. We're going to work on making that hot room more comfortable for him, that his office is in. All those things I have built in. And on top of that, they're going to save a bunch of money on their utility bill. And you get all that for a little less than $4 a day. I've done all I can do on my end. Is there anything, any scratch and dents, any last minute specials, anything at all, Serena, that you have that it came through today that I don't know about?
and then we go right back into the role play.
It could be like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's
it
great.
could go a couple ways. It could be like if I was to ask for what the true energy savings was, and I know it's $70 a month, then I could do some work on the back end depending on where the conversation went. I may have to recalculate the discount, figure out the savings, and give them a better finance plan. Sometimes our guys are phenomenal at selling the money, but some guys aren't. And so some are really, really good at building value, but selling money isn't their strength and vice versa. So everybody is a different style. So my job when I'm on the phone with these guys is figuring out their style, their strengths, their weaknesses, and I bridge that gap. And then when we come together, it's very productive. Not every call is the same. Sometimes I need to, it's as simple as discounting a little bit, figuring out the energy savings, and then coming up with a plan with a lesser payment factor. And next thing you know, it looks like they struck gold when all we did was a $500 discount. So there's so many different ways depending on the person, but the energy savings, a lot of customers forget. They may say, yeah, 177 is still a big, I just had my dog die, my wife passed, my husband passed, I'm widowed, I'm this and that. There's so many heartbreaking stories you hear. And just by a little tweak, we could get that price down to 154 a month by just switching their finance plan. So there's so many different things. And then we have to remind them about the energy savings and go the long way when we don't use net investment.
Yeah, she brought up a good point. You sell four things. You sell yourself, you sell the company, you sell the product, and you sell the money. And I'm glad to hear Serena call it sell the money. It's I coined that. And our comfort consultants are, most all of them, if not all of them, are really good at selling themselves, building that trust and that rapport and being thorough in all the things that they do. And they're good at selling the company and they're good at selling the product. The product is the least important of all the things.
I would agree to that.
The last thing is selling the money. And that has two parts to it. One is, can I afford it? And what is the ROI and does it make sense? And then the other thing is, why should I do it now? Selling the money, most comfort consultants, I'm not saying all, but most are not that good at it. They're not that good at financing and presenting different plans. And some people don't bring up financing. They don't use net investment as a weapon. They use financing as a last resort when they get a no. Well, we do have financing. And that's not how to do it. And so net investment is something that I have preached at Parker & Sons and Wrench for years and years. It is one of the most important steps to do as a comfort consultant, make it affordable, or in the Home Depots or the Costco's, or if you're a tune-up tech, when you make something affordable, you'll set up way more calls, way more appointments for system leads. Making it affordable is so, so important. So,
that's great.
That's about net investment.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm so glad that we went there and just shared about that and went back to the affordability piece of it. So thank you for doing that. One of the nuances that I saw when we were doing the role practice or the role play, which is in line with something you said earlier, Paul, is making the comfort consultant out to be a hero. What it almost seems like to me is I was on the opposite side of the table as you were before we called Serena. And then when we called Serena, it was almost like you moved over to my side of the table and it was now me and the client versus Serena. Is that?
You're so observant. Yep.
So that's the whole point.
There is some psychological warfare. It's just powerful. I just want to make sure our listeners saw that with your waving of
Yes.
your finger. There's things
Yeah.
there that can you guys expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. In the
I got
end,
the chills, by the way. That was so good.
yeah. In the end, I know that our customers will trust our comfort consultants or our selling techs, but they won't necessarily trust that they got the best deal. But that's why they get other bids. That's why they, want to think about it. That's why, most all of the objections that a customer would ever say has to do with money. It has to do with the investment. And that's okay. That's where you want it. But they have to feel like they got a good deal. Now, getting a good deal from the comfort consultant is one thing. Getting a good deal from the comfort consultants, from an authority at the company who, and the comfort consultant letting that authority, throw them out. And then me telling the customer, don't say yes yet. I'm going to try for something else. I just moved, you are spot on. I just moved to their side of the table. I'm working for them. I'm trying to figure out how they get an even better deal. They just learned that I'm trustworthy as far as price as well. And if Serena can't close it, or I can't close it when I'm with you, Kevin, when Serena hangs up, I have a way better chance of saying and going into, wow, I didn't expect that. And I'm not saying you have to go forward with this. You decide what's best for you and your family. But I'm going to tell you right now, you will never get a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to replace it anyway in the next year, probably now would be a good time.
So you're still selling. You're still selling. Like Serena said earlier, I expect Paul to still be selling when we hang up.
Yeah.
So we go a step further. I have one of the guys on my team. His name's Brock. Corbin Brock, excuse me. So Corbin, he actually had his personal best month last month with $700,000. Personal best month in 10 years. 338,000 came from table closes. So this is what happens. You're going to get a kick out of this. So we're talking, we're wheeling and dealing. We did exactly what we just did, right? If he sees hesitation but opportunity, he'll actually mute the phone and say, "Hey, Serena, hang tight really quick. Just give us 1 second." He'll mute the phone and he'll say, "Listen, Kevin, you're in the driver's seat. Just ask her if she'll go for 11.5 and see if she'll take it. She's either going to say yes or no." And then come back and he'll say, "Hey, Serena, Kevin has a question for you really quick. Hey, Serena, listen, we love Corbin. We love Parker. Would you even consider doing it for 11.5 when you have a deal right now?" And I'll say, "Oh gosh, you guys are pushing it now. You guys are pushing it. You know what? I'm going to have to start from scratch. You guys are going to just give me a minute. I got to run the numbers and check the margins. Let me see." And then I may come back and say 11.726 and you got a deal. I may give in, I may not. It depends on the margins, and it may depend on the energy, and it may depend on my install board tomorrow morning. So all those factor in, but there is strategy where now it's Corbin, or in this case, Kevin and Paul against Serena. It's a united front, and you guys are trying to win me over, just like Paul set the stage earlier. That's exactly what's happening. Some customers may not even be open. They'll say, no, don't call your manager, right? Some customers, they know that customer has a wall up, but they're on their way to kicking us out the home. So they'll get creative and say, "Hey, Serena, I'm just wrapping up with Kevin here. Can you send me my next call?" "Oh, how'd it go over there with Kevin?" "Oh, no, he's good. He just needs to sleep on it for the night." No, they're good. I'm emailing. "Well, why don't you just ask Kevin if I give him a smoking deal, would he consider moving forward this week?" And then it's awkward. And my boss wants me to ask, "If she gives you a killer deal, would you even consider moving forward while I'm here?" "Well, what's the smoking deal?" Well, Serena, can I just put you on speaker? Kevin can hear you now. Hey, Kevin, thanks for entertaining me. Listen, we have some spots I got to fill. I'm kind of getting beaten up a little bit over our install board. I have installers that just aren't going to be working tomorrow. If like I asked Corbin, would you be willing to even consider moving forward or filling one of my spots this week to keep my boys busy? If I could give you a killer deal? Well, what's the killer deal? All right, well, let me take a look. Which system are you looking at? Now we're back in the game. So there's so many different tactics and different plays, and every one of my guys is unique, and I need to tailor it to that guy. Some will do a net investment, some won't. Some will give me what I need at the beginning, some I have to extract. So it's constant debriefing after, role playing, communicating on what worked, what didn't work. It's not a one size fits all situation. We have to tailor it. The other thing, and it may hurt a few people's feelings. I've been a sales manager and I've been in this role, and to do this at a very high level and still be a sales manager, you're not going to get what I do unless it's a very specific, isolated position. Because just like you saw, I took time with my customer. I didn't squeeze you and Paul in between 15 other things I need to do, and I got to get Daryl this report, and I got to get Bob Cannon this report, and I got a marketing meeting, and I got a financial meeting. Like I don't have, there's no way to do what I did with you to make you feel good as a consumer and still be able to make my financial meeting at 2:00 and pay attention to you and do really well. So this is the first time I've been doing this tablecloth stuff at every company I've ever worked for, but I've never done it at a high level. Like Paul said, getting really, really good at something and executing at a high level. Nobody's given me the opportunity to isolate this. And I'm about to do $3 million this month just on the phone with my guys that call me.
Just want to make sure everybody heard that. If you want to know what the definition of high level is, Serena was sharing earlier that she's already at 2.7 for the month of August. That is ridiculous. That is,
and again, this is not
that
me.
is world class.
This is my guys using a tool that's readily available. Some guys get in the way of themselves too. Their mindset, they have a hard time adopting this. And those are things that me and Paul have battled when we rolled this out, but we're getting there. We're getting there quickly. So,
yeah, we're only at 50% compliance.
What an opportunity. What an opportunity.
But I tell my guys, call me on one leakers, call me on landlord tenants. I don't care, because those are the people that I follow up with in the evening. Those are the people you get a committed follow-up versus a cold follow-up from another department that they weren't even expecting. The odds are much higher getting them on the phone. And I warm up that conversation. If I need to pass it to sales recovery, we're still moving. We are still moving. So that's where we're at.
So exciting. So exciting. Okay. Well, here's what I want to do. I want to wrap, but I actually want you guys to help me wrap up this call. Paul, you said there are 3 things that we need to do when we're in a home to make this process work.
Yes.
What were those 3 things?
Make it affordable. Use net investment. Net investment is simply the financing. Usually start with the cheapest, the lowest payment factor that you can find minus the monthly utility savings. It's always affordable. $3 to $4 a day is affordable. Make it affordable. Give the customer the feeling that they did a good job of working a deal, and the comfort consultant did a good job of working the deal. They want a deal. People want deals. Make them feel like they got a deal. And then create urgency is the last one. Use a takeaway if you need to create the urgency. The takeaway is simply a discount that maybe Serena gave that now she can't if you're not willing to help us fill our board and keep our installers busy. They got to put food on their table, play on some heartstrings. And those are the 3 steps.
So we've heard, thank you, Paul. We've heard Sales Recovery 1.0, which is which is going to get some folks at Parker about $10 million of revenue this year. We just heard how we can 3x that with Sales Recovery 2.0. And we're only 50% compliant at Parker & Sons. Can you imagine what we're going to do in the impact this is going to have when we can move that needle closer to 100%? Will we ever be 100%? Who knows? I think the objective, though, from what I'm hearing you say, is just continue to move the needle over to the right towards that 100%. And if there's ever a way to make your future bigger than your past, always be looking at ways to make things more of a benefit for your client, make things more of a benefit for the comfort consultant, and then in the end, make things more of a benefit for the company. But it's those three things: your client, your comfort consultant, and then the company is last. Yep. It'll take care of itself if you take care of the first two. Wow. Serena, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Kevin. It's pretty magical, for sure.
I have to tell you, I got chills. Well, I'm getting them again. I've now gotten chills 4 times on this call. I'm not kidding. So good. So talented. Thank you, Serena.
I will leave you with this one last comment. I would say that for any of the comfort consultants selling techs that watch the show, listen, they may try it. They may fall on their face. It may be awkward, but consistency is key. And if they, until they dial it in, until they really figure out, a process and a flow and it's fluid, they're doing themselves a disservice if they try it 3 times and fall on their face and quit. You've got to be relentless in everything we do and just be fearless enough. I know it's scary when you're commissioned only and you're putting your livelihood in someone else's hands. But if you give it a shot with the right partner, you will see success. You just got to step out of fear.
And try and close it on your own when you can't. When you're having trouble, that's when to use the table close.
Yeah.
This doesn't change you closing it on your own. So
that's a very good point. That's a very good point, Paul. So we're calling in for the table close when we've done everything we possibly can as a comfort consultant to sell it before, because we can't clog up Serena's phone all day and call her on every one of our leads. We have to sell some ourselves, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. But don't give away too much on your own. Got to leave room for her to give something.
Yeah. Your giveaways and discounts are not as powerful as getting it from a manager.
No,
it's just different. If you're going to give away the farm, might as well not give so much away on the front end and then expect more on the back end. Now we're double dipping. Just give a little and then make a call. Give your little $1,000 online coupon and make the call if you can't get that buy-in.
I heard what you said, Serena, about a comfort consultant and the importance of them continuing to get better at this and stumble and get better. I want to make sure everybody that's listening and watching this, you also understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, you have to have a strong person sitting in Serena's seat. They have to be sales. They have to be sales oriented. That's what I see. She's a salesperson, period. End of story. She's not an order taker. She's not a customer service rep, right? Am I?
You're spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah, you're dead on, for sure.
Yeah. Before we started the show, you said the only reason I'm out of sales is because a wrist injury you said you had. So you're in sales. The only reason you're not in a home closing deals is because of.
I'm 5'2" and a half and have a bad wrist. So getting myself through a crawl space 3 times a day is a little rough on the wrist. Do I miss it? Do I miss getting on roofs and in attics with the guys and just living life? Absolutely. But this is the next best thing. And it's exhilarating. It's exciting.
And I can feel it. Any closing word, Paul?
No. Thank you for your time. And again, this one thing that, look, Parker & Sons leads, I think I heard, I didn't look, but I think they're down 25%. The system leads. And that could be a whole nother podcast of what of what we need to do to increase the number of leads. But with the leads that we have, if Parker and Sons has found a way to overcome being down so many leads with this process, it's helped. And I feel like Wrench could be hitting their top line number. Parker and Sons could be hitting their top line number if we just get crazy good at this one thing. So I'll leave you with that.
I love it. All right, team. Talk about two people that are always looking to make their future bigger than their past. Love it. Thank you, Serena. Thank you, Paul. Here's to a bigger future.